This is my Melbury log cabin as supplied and fitted by Forest Garden in June of last year. There were a number of issues with the installation, the two major ones and some minor ones. The first major one was the way the felt was fitted on the roof. I was told it was supposed to be cut flush, which it wasn't, as there's exposed wood there, but even cut flush I couldn't see how that would stop water penetrating the sides and mainly the ends of the roofing timbers. But I was told this is the way it's supposed to be, but someone would come and relay it so that it was in fact flush. The second major problem concerned one of the windows, where the window catch was distorted, didn't line up properly and didn't work the way it should work. This was to be addressed by ordering a new part. When the chap came in September to do the remedial work, he did all the minor things. He told me that he had been instructed to inspect the window and to find out what was required to put it right. As I say, that was last September. I never heard any more about it. He also he didn't do the roof as I expected, but he said he had sealed it up to the edge so that the water couldn't get under it, and that was the answer to that. So now we get up to date. It's January this year, and here is my cabin. Note the doors being held shut by planks of wood. This is because the wood has swollen and the pins that hold the left hand door secure no longer match up with the holes that receive them, and the doors don't close together as they should. If we look up onto the roof, we note the water has, as I predicted, got into the ends of the boards on the roof, causing them to swell and forcing them to distort. If we now turn our attention to the shingles on the roof, you can see that many of them are broken and missing. The reason for this is nothing to do with the distortion of the wood, because it didn't happen until a later date, but this is because the shingles, which should be glued down, are not, and as I'm clearly demonstrating, are flapping up and down. The wind gets underneath them, blows them up or blows them over, and they crack and fall off. If we now have a look at the front of the building, we see that the bottom log above the door has distorted downwards, leaving this quite considerable gap which runs almost the full length of the cabin. Also, the top log appears to be distorting upwards and leaving a gap, not quite so big, but leaving a gap between it and the one below it, and exactly the same is happening with the top log on the rear wall. And last but not least, on the rear left hand corner, there's considerable water penetration. And that concludes this little video on the state of my Forest Garden log cabin.